You know, I've just realised I forgot to hit the thing to signal transition to hex, but either way. Yeah, so this is Vision Soft Reset. We are going to be doing 100% true completion. I'll get into a bit more detail about, true ending. I'll get into a bit more detail about that as we go, though. Yeah, again, Sinath is joining me. He's going to be hosting while we run. Thankfully, I don't think he's going to have a huge amount to do. And he's a bit familiar with the run because he commentated for me not too long ago on it. So we should have a pretty good time here. But time is going to start as soon as I hit go on this new file. So, Sinath, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
There we go. So I'm as ready as I'm going to be for this. So, yeah, we're going to start ourselves off in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, first thing about this game is text boxes are all mashing, which I'm sure we are all massive fans of, but thankfully there's not a huge amount of them. That's not good. So we've already wasted a bit of time there. That's a bit unfortunate. You jumped a little bit too early. So this is our first little boss. Very, very easy boss. Mostly just to teach you about some of the basic mechanics of the game.
Yeah, so I've watched this game been run a few times with Ddraig, and it is, I mean, if you like Metroidvanias, if you like time jankiness, if you like interesting storylines, you probably got this game for free a couple of years ago during the itch.io 1700 game buy for like $7. So go check your library in itch.io. You probably own this already, and if you don't, go grab it because you're missing out.
I would definitely say you are missing out. So, firstly, I just want to give a shout out to Mianan, who's turned up in chat. Always a pleasure to see you, and he is one of the people who has worked on this game. Great dude, and again, super active in the Discord. So, with this now, you may have noticed when I was fighting that boss that he's got these little grey shadows, as it were, coming out of him. So those are basically our character predicting the future. Oh, we got the quick nut, excellent. So that particular squirrel there could be very, very awkward with us for no reason whatsoever other than they want to. Let's not take that hit because that will cause us to have to rewind. So we're going to be, we're going to be saving regularly at these. So one of the things with this game is that there is 2 percentages. There is the physical percent, which is what we are physically holding at the moment, and there is the total item percent, which is the stuff that we've collected. Now that's relevant because we're going to be doing some time traveling. We're going to be cutting back to all the save points. Oh no. Why are you going to be like this? Oh, this very slow start. I am sorry, I'm a bit out of practice here, so we've lost a little bit of time that we saved from Quick Nut there, but not the world. We've still got plenty of time to go. We should be well inside of normal times here. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're going to get the first pickup here, and like with many Metroidvanias, our first pickup is going to be Charge Shot. So this is good because it allows us to break these walls, which is nice because we need to go through there. Okay, we timed that up nicely. There we go. We did not want to take a hit in there. Basically, at the moment, any hit is going to cause us to die, which, you know, we've got a little bit of a rewind functionality, which you may have seen already. You may have noticed me doing that earlier. And that's the other element. So we've got, there's our rewind right there. So we've got 2 time travel elements. We can backtrack to any of our previous save points as long as we actually saved on the point, not just touched it. And we can also just do these short rewinds like this, which are going to let's just undo little bits of damage. Now, obviously they are time losses overall, but in the long grand scheme of things, they save you a lot of time. Now this right here is one of our most important items. It's called Spin Dodge. It's just dodge to us, and that's going to let us do this little jump here. So I just got to get this code in here. So we have already been through the room where you would find this code on a casual playthrough, but we didn't reveal it because we know it, so it doesn't change. But we're going to use this dodge cancel jump a lot throughout this run because, as you saw there, it gives us a decent amount of momentum and it is quite quick. And it's going to allow us to skip through a door here, and that right there. Next save point we're taking. No, sorry, go ahead.
I gotta ask, since there is one of the people who worked on the game here, what is the over/under on a VSR 2?
My understanding is that it's not. Come on. It is not likely to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I knew that the VSR. I knew that the VSR 1 had issues with the Steam store or something to do with the IP, and yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics of the details. I don't need to know the specifics. I just know that these guys have made a fantastic game, and people should 100% give it a go. But yeah, so we're using a couple of little skips here. This section is... Come on now. A very good one. Because in the casual playthrough, you will not come the way I just came. You'll backtrack through there possibly later, but you won't come through that way. And it's a tight deadline to get into that item. So the wall run is another major item for us. Oh, forgot about the icicles. So yeah, the wall run's gonna. Now that we've got the wall run, the dodge, that is, and oh, let's avoid that hit then. And the charge shot. That's basically all of our major movement right there. We're going to be spending a lot of time making use of all of these things. And this is altered shot now. This, as you may have caught on the description there, allows us to alternate between shooting 1 and 2 shots as we shoot. So we're getting basically 1.5 damage, which is fine. And there is a double shot that comes later, and we'll get that too. Now we need to make sure we hit certain saves as we go through, collect certain items. And so these guys we're going to use. So that gate I just walked through, as you may have seen, had 2 heart symbols on it, which means it's going to take 2 damage off us to break that gate. But we can just deboost off the enemy, and we're fine. It'll break, because we're not going to take the damage because we've got the iframes. Yeah. Okay, and this is another one where there's a longer section on the casual play where you go and find this code. You may have noticed the 2 actually when we went down to get our wall run, but it's... yeah. So this is our first boss. I'm going to be a bit quiet here because I'm going to concentrate. So Sinath, if there's anything you would like to throw in, please go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I went to sleep and I just woke up and we raised $241 more since I went to sleep. You guys are absolutely insane. I can't believe that we've blown past our goal. We're getting closer to our next milestone here, which is $1,337. And that milestone we've just named, we are elite now. I hope we get there. If we get to $2,000, we're doing a full day in real life beach cleanup on stream. And that's going to be on April 23rd. So if you guys get to $2,000 and you want to see that happen for the next marathon, get to $2,000. Let's do it.
Okay, so just very quickly, this wasn't a great boss fight, but we have got through him. The claw's what we needed, but now we've got a new problem in that I need 25% vision at the top there in order to get... so we're just going to take the death and rewind that way. So that's our first death. I'm not particularly proud of that one, but... let's get this chatter. We get the calls. We're going to bail straight out of here. And we're going to go back to our very first save when we landed on the planet. and we're going to head over this way, and we're going to turn some power on, because we're going to need that for the next area that we're headed to. Oh, I wish these guys would stop hitting me, like, they're not very nice. Lots of little movement nuance here that I'm missing out on just from lack of practice. It should be pointed out, well, it doesn't have to be, but I'm going to point out. I have recently had a bit of a problem with my hands, and they are still recovering, though they are a lot better than they were. And I wasn't able to even hold the controller for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we're in a good place here, really. But
yeah, I mean, I'm happy that you're able to even make this and do this. So, you know.
Well, me too, because I had to drop out of another marathon recently, and I felt awful doing that, because not only is it for a great cause, but like I love running this game and showing it to people, because more people need to get involved. They really do. So we're just going to keep picking up these decryptors, which are upgrades. Now the decryptors, when we rewind time, you may have noticed that we keep the decryptors. Everything else we lose in terms of physical having it, but we keep those. We're going to go the slow way here because I'm messing up. There we go. So yeah, one of the things with this, so for...
We do have a quick donation from Ernon, $30. It says $30 for Quick Nut. What a good squirrel that went towards Save the Animals in Super Metroid.
That's fair, I can respect that. Oh. Right, so there we go. So we fell off there, we didn't want to. Right, we're going to skip some time here, which is another feature which we haven't mentioned yet. So at these save points, we can skip time. Ooh, that's way too much. That should be about fine. In this area here, at 10 minutes on the clock there, wind is going to blow through. And if we have opened up certain notes, as you can see, we already opened up one earlier, and there's another one there that we don't want. Come on. There we go. Yeah, we open up these notes. When we open up the right notes, it's going to open the room to the boss in this area, who is simultaneously one of the most frustrating yet one of the easiest bosses you could ever hope to encounter. But yeah, so that big thing in the middle there, that is a phase crystal. That's what we've actually come to this planet to get on a research mission. We're not going to pick it up now, because we're going to come back and get it later. Base. Might as well get this guy while we're here. This next boss we encounter as well, we're going to we want to beat him without taking any damage.
We do have another small donation from Rep G Suspenser, but every dollar counts. It's $1 that says, yeah, I'm awake.
I like that. Respect to that one. That's exactly how I was feeling when I turned up this morning. So you may have just heard that chime there just before we picked up that card. That chime is the door that was here opening up. So this is our next boss. He is the guardian of this area, and he is not very nice.
Yeah, we don't like this boss. Like, the first two bosses, okay, the first boss was basically sent out on a suicide mission. The second boss we found misunderstood. This guy, no, he just doesn't like us.
No way. Now, the good news is that rewind allows me to undo the damage that I've been done. So effectively, we are still hitless on this boss. With a little bit of luck, there we go. That wasn't a bad kill. That went a lot better than the previous boss did. I mean, you can get yourself in slightly better positioning. Obviously, if I hadn't taken hits and had to rewind, it would have been slightly faster. But we needed to do that because we want this card. What happens when you pick up an enemy card is you are going to do basically increased damage against that enemy. And we need that. No, not that one. That one. We need that increased damage to make killing him even quicker next time, which you'll see when we get there. because we are going to go back and fight him again, because on the final run through we need to collect every single card. I don't know why I'm rewinding there. I should just take the hit on that one, but you know, sometimes we do these things without thinking about them. You'll notice with the save points, I just have to touch them to get a refill. I don't need to actually take like the actual save point. I don't need to do anything, interact with it. Just literally stand on it will get me a health and a vision refill. So this section is... There we go. This is our underwater section. Now, all the water here is superheated, and as you can see, we are changing color slightly as we go through, because we are getting superheated by the water. It wasn't too bad. So now, you may have noticed that one of the items I picked up was heat resistance. That is useful, but this section is also doable without that. Obviously, we want it because we're doing 100%. So we're going to be picking up everything we can. Most of these items, in terms of the speed run, aren't going to do a lot for us. In a casual play, a lot of them are very useful, in fairness. Messed that up, but whatever, we got through it. So we need to get enough of a run up there to trigger our speed booster, which we picked up after beating the last boss. And that's going to allow us to run all the way up here. So we're now coming into the section which we call, well, which is called the virus. On a casual play, sort it out, please. On a casual play, the virus you will actually see a lot more of than you will in this speedrun, because this entire section will be affected by it. But for the purposes of what we do, no, you're just going to literally see it in the build-up of the rooms before the boss fight. So that little portal there is actually the big bad endgame boss, who is dumping this virus on us. We don't realize that we've had a virus dumped on us yet within the context of the game. So we're just going to plow on through. We're going to fight this boss. So this boss is... I mean, it's hard to really call it a boss because of what it is. It's more just this room is just out to get us. So as you saw, we're targeting the green squares. So they're going to rotate around. And we're going to attempt to take out a green square every time we get the chance. Okay, that third one is the hardest one to get timing-wise. And that's going to allow us to finish this at the top here, which is the quickest we can finish the boss by taking out those 4 squares. And as you can see, we've now ejected from our suit, and we are just a little worm. So Oracle, the main character here, is a little worm. Wally, who is the guy on the ship with us, has realized that we've been infected with a virus, informed us we need to get out of the suit, and he's written a little program that allows us to do that. And now we need to go and find one of the other suits, which you may have noticed laying about in the area, to get ourselves a suit back so we can get back to our time-traveling natures. Okay, so here's the suit that we're going to pick up, and it's nicely situated in this little room over here, away from everything else so that we're safe picking it up. Or are we? So as you can see, time's rewinding, but that was not me. Wait, where are we going back to? Oh, yeah, this one.
I saw in chat, Hex was saying, hey, I own this game, a little game to have fun with. Good news, it is controller friendly.
It is very controller friendly. I mean, I'm actually playing this on a SNES controller at the moment, which is probably not people's first choice of controller for PC games, but for this particular game, at the time, it was one of the few controllers I had that worked on PC consistently, because I've got an adapter for it. But for this game, I actually find it very comfortable, works very well, so yeah. Oh, I have forgotten to do one thing. We're going to have to backtrack very slightly here, because I have forgotten to go and get the items under here. Where are we? So, yeah, we now have the ability to get out of our suit whenever we want, and that's going to allow us to get under the ship and into this little secret entrance here. Yeah, I was going the 100% non-true ending route rather than true ending there for a moment, so we'll...
Yeah, I was going to remind you.
Yeah, we'll just backtrack and pretend that never happened, but also it's going to give us a slight advantage because now we've got double shot ready for the next boss. So it's not a huge issue.
So the biggest difference between true ending and regular ending is that you're seeing Ddraig pick up items in the game, these cards. Every time he rewinds back to a save point, any cards that he has collected during that run while he's been doing things, up to that save point, would get reset. So basically, say you get 3 cards, save, and then get 3 more cards. The 3 cards you collected after the save, if you rewind, would get lost. And the point of true ending is to play the entire game by getting every single item in one save loop. We're going to be doing that in a grand cleanup later in the game, so you'll see that. The other really big difference is...
Sorry, I've messed this up. We're going to have to die here and do it again because we can't take a hit on this boss.
Right.
Sorry,
yeah, so... no, you're good. So yeah, as Ddraig was just saying, the other biggest difference is that these bosses you have to fight them without getting hit. If you do that, you get their special trading card. If you don't, then you'll never see that trading card. So again, you have to get certain cards. You have to get all the cards in the game, including these boss cards, by not being hit.
There we go.
The other big difference is Salacia. I think you normally only fight him once in regular ending and twice in true ending, or is it this one?
Both. So you fight both of these bosses twice in true ending because you need to get their cards on the final loop, which is what we're doing right now. We also need to make sure that on this loop we hit every single save point in the game. We're also going to get to introduce ourselves, or get to meet the salesman. So this is our big bad endgame boss. Though he's a bit confused himself about why he's doing what he's doing. He just feels like this is what he should be doing. Yeah, so we're going to go back down here. So this is doing this section backwards. But, you know, we got to go and collect everything now, so we're going to get on that. So one of the things with this game is the tech in itself is very easy to learn. All move, like the dodge, cancel, jump, super easy. You literally just jump before you get to the, you know, as soon as you dodge, sort of thing. You know, all the wall running, it's all included in the game. There's very little tech that we use that the game doesn't just give you. This is not very good. But yeah, it's the movement in this game is super easy. It's super nice. Really, really is fulfilling. Like, feels good moving around in this game.
Speaking of last boss and true ending, so by the way, true ending does something different to the last boss that you guys will pretty much enjoy.
Yes. Didn't want to shoot that off there.
And as much as Ddraig has been having trouble going through this game, you know, trying to warm back up and de-rust a little bit, playing this game casually is a whole different experience to what you're seeing right now, because Ddraig is very experienced in what to look for in this game, what to do, what to press. You know, even, you know, having come back to it after a long time and making mistakes here and there, this is still a lot faster and a lot different than a casual playthrough.
Just want to say that room I just did there is one of my least favorite rooms in the game, purely because it's the one that I mess up the most. It's not a particularly hard room, it's just I mess it up a lot. Do we need to go down? Yeah, we need to go down because we need to get a save point. So as you can see now, a lot of stuff that we were using before, like we were using the squirrels to break the claws and so on, we don't need to worry about that anymore. Now, the percentage points for these hearts, you actually get when you just enter the room. but I'm going to go and collect them anyway because, you know, we're doing 100% true ending, so we're going to pick everything up. Okay, we're going to go back up here because I have to do this manually. And yeah, where I went to the save to go get the double shot, if I was on normal 100% route, that's the way you go for it, because you don't need to collect everything in a single loop for that. But for true ending, we do. So we're going to go back around this way. The good news is we don't have to drop down and get the double shot again, so we can just go straight through this little section here. Those flies are the worst. And yet again, we're going to kick ourselves out of the suit. Get through these little narrow corridors, and there's a suit right there for us, and a phase crystal. How perfect. It's almost as if we knew we were coming here. So, in fact, the room next to this, which we're about to enter, is the room where you would normally first encounter the virus, and as you can see, we're quite some distance off where we were. That's a phase upgrade, which gives us a bit more time travel ability, and much like the hearts, they automatically get added to your percentage just by entering the room. So we're going to drop down here, we're going to go here, and yet again, we're going to strip out of our suit. I don't believe that I've missed any cards so far, but this is one that's very easy to miss if you're not paying attention, because you would have to go back around that full loop to get it again. But it's also very easy to rewind because we've had to make a save there. So it's sort of like a swings and roundabouts, just don't cost yourself time type situation. And we're back in the suit. So this coming up now is one of the more tedious parts in a way of the cleanup, because we've got to do it twice. So we're going to go over here, we're going to back it up. Now casually you usually go back to the left here, but we're not doing that because, you know, we speed run, we want to do it as quick as possible. So we're going to go in here. Yeah, let's do, who cares which one we get first. We're going to go here and we're going to get this card. So, unlike the rest of the cards, that doesn't do double damage to us, thankfully. Because that would make some of these fights a bit tougher, to be honest. But yeah, so on a casual playthrough, to get up here, you would be swimming around this section. We have to do the loop once because we need to collect both of these items. And that's one of the things for true ending now. Once we've got that, though, that's this section done. So it's a little bit tedious because we're adding, you know, movement to it that we don't want to have to do, but it's not really anything awful. It's just complaining for the sake of complaining, mostly. Right, so we've got that now. We are now going to be... Oh, whatever, we'll take those hits. And the heart. So yeah, we're going to head back down now to the core of the world. And we're going to take advantage of our speed booster to get us back here as quick as we can. Now, let's see if we can do this without going down it. Nope. So that is the planet core there, which you may have noticed was damaged. I just got to pop in here to make sure I hit this save point. This is the save point that I forgot to hit a couple of years back at DPX, and... well, you know, changed the whole dynamic of the run. We set a strip percent world record instead that day. Oh, come on now. Why do you like this? Yeah, we sent a strip percent world record that day because, to my knowledge, that's still the only completed strip percent run. Oh. Come on now. So there's not a lot of leeway here. We need as much of this run up as possible. We're going back. Okay. And so yeah, without speed we wouldn't be able to do this. At wall run we wouldn't be able to do this. But thankfully we have them all. Like there's a lot has gone into trying to work out a way to do a single loop of the game, like without having to have to rewind at all, for the sake of, you know, having a fun speedrun category. But as of yet, we haven't discovered a way to make that happen. So yeah. Oh, come on. So we are going to get this up too. Normally I would skip that part if we were going for like world record times, but as we're in a marathon, let's play a bit safe, take a bit of extra health, because there is a section coming up which is notoriously bad for draining your health, and we don't want to have to refill unless, if we can avoid it. So, okay, that wasn't too bad. It's going okay. So, I mean, does anybody have any questions about speedrunning this game? Because I would strongly recommend you do so, especially if you find out that you actually already own it, which a lot of people might be surprised to discover they do.
Yeah, like I said, this came out in the huge bundle from itch.io, so you probably own it if you grab that.
Yeah, what was that, like 2-3 years ago, something like that now?
I think it was 2019 before the COVID virus, yeah.
I feel like 2019 sounds about right. Okay. So we're trying here to take as little damage as possible through this section, which will make more sense in the next section. Okay, cool, that went fairly well. And the reason for that is because of this next room. This room is one of the hardest rooms in the game. Oh, we're gonna have to rewind that. Too early with the shot. There we go, we got it. So yeah, as you see, you've got to drop down, use your shot to give yourself a bit of upwards momentum, and then use the wall run to get out of it. That was probably one of the smoothest I've had for some time on it. So that's not too bad. And yeah, so we've just got a couple of other items that we want to collect. Okay, we're going to go to the underside here. It's technically slightly faster to go across the top. It's also a lot more risky health-wise and, marathon safety and that. So here, so this guy isn't even going to pop up now because we've already killed him. He's already run away to hide wherever he runs away to hide. And we're going to do a couple of item collections down here, and because we now have the claw, it's just going to allow us to smash those doors straight in, and we're not going to have to bother going around the actual puzzle loop that's there that you would normally have to do. And this is where you get that 4-digit code that we had to get, is down these sections. But we don't need that because we've got it, and down we go. So you may recognize that we went this way before, but there is going to be a slight difference you're going to notice when we get to the end of this little section. Oh, got speed there, didn't necessarily want that, but we'll take it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now it's very important that we didn't have the power on for this section, because otherwise that would block our access to this room, which we want for this card, and that's the only reason on the speedrun you will ever see this room. And because we've got the claw, we're gonna do it the easy way here, rather than mess about like we did last time. But you'll see that that vine that we shot below is now like a rock, and has those little pink flowers on it. Each of those pink flowers tells us that we're a minute past the time where that was accessible. Which is a really cool little feature in my opinion. Oh, this is not going to end well. Oh, we're fine. I almost got myself trapped in a little cycle of taking damage for no logical reason there. Oh, that was way too big of a jump. Way too short of a jump. Okay, so... Okay, I don't know what I did there. I totally messed that up. So we're just gonna do the slow way down the bottom. Okay, so that section's not too bad. Okay, so this is now our third phase crystal. So the one that we saw earlier is going to be the first one we get. On our way there, we're going to attempt to use our speed booster to make a couple more items collections a bit quicker. Oh, we messed that up. Thankfully, we've got that rewind ability. Makes a lot of little mistakes in this very forgiving. in terms of like completability. Obviously, for purposes of a speedrun, it does cost time. Here we go. Let's get him. See if we can pull this off. We didn't get it, but that's fine. So normally this room we would literally just dip in, dip out, because that gets us the percentage point for this. But I'm going to collect them all because you know, marathon, and let's show off the game a little bit more and some of the cool movement bits like that we can do. It's yeah, this game is so much better than I think anybody might expect just from seeing a trailer or something like that. And again, if you did get that racial justice and inequality bundle, strongly recommend giving this game a go. Join us in the speedrun, it's well worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
So this little section now is also one of the harder sections because we want to be accurate, and this ghost is going to chase us. We have no means of damaging him, we just have to avoid him. Oh. And you're going to see a lot of that because, as you may have noticed, I have a single health point. Any hit is going to finish us off. Oh, no, that's not... Oof. Time is definitely off if I've got to go around the top there. There we go. Got through it in the end, though. So, yeah, it's very rare that my timing is to a point where I've got to go through the top route there. That usually means that I was a little bit slower than normal, but whatever. We got through that, and that's the important thing. So what we just got there was a way to manually escape the shell without going into the menu. Unfortunately, in terms of speedrunning, we have no reason to use that unless you want to do strip percent, which again, not a lot of people do, specifically because you need to come and collect that item to be able to do it. And it's so out of the way for anything other than 100% route that it's sometimes a bit, is it worth it? But, you know, and strip percent is different because you get slightly different dialogue at the game's completion. Okay, that was a good trip through there, though. That's always nice. Okay, so, where are we? So we're coming now up towards, what have we got left to do? So we've got this. Yeah, we're coming up towards one of the last cleanup sections before we go up to towards the final area. So we're a couple of minutes out from that. Oh, it would help if I remembered which levels I was going in, which room, which directions I was pressing would be a help. And I'm also sat here praying that I haven't forgotten something, because it's so easy to potentially forget just little things in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, you know, we've got to collect, I think it's like 24 cards. This time, however, we don't need to do the musical notes. You may notice we're well past the point of that 13 minutes. But yeah, so we don't need to do any music notes this time because we have speed, and we can use speed to bypass that door anyway. Okay, so this now is where we're going to collect our last phase crystal, so we're going to just dip in here so we get enough of a run up to get a speed booster. We're going to go round the loop, drop off the end here, and miss. Because we're getting this card first. I know, tease, right? Okay. You may remember that I picked up a couple of cards. Oh, let me rewind that. A couple of cards up this way earlier. And the heart thing, we're going to go back and get them again. Again, we don't technically need to collect this heart for this category, because just coming in the room gives us the percentage point for it. But we're going to, because I'm like that. Okay. Hold on, mister. Right, sorry if you hear that, that's just my son very much wanting to watch himself some Dora the Explorer. Right, so this is one of the last little sections that we need to clear out. Cool. That was also poor. But you know, we can't take a hit on this boss anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, we're going to use Speed Booster to break it open like that. And you may remember this guy from earlier, except this time we plan to melt him. Because we've got this double shot, which is going to do double the damage. And as you can see, it's a huge difference. Huge difference in the amount of damage you can do. And we need to do that because we want his card again, because we have to finish the game with a full deck of cards in order to be able to get what the speedrun refers to as true ending. I should say it's not necessarily canonically considered the true ending. Yeah. I suppose we'd have to get Mark to confirm one way or another whether that is the official true ending or not. But yeah, that's going to be, should be, our last but one save. Let's pray that we haven't messed this up now. And this is now the opening sequence to the end. So we're a couple of minutes out. So because we've got all 4 phase crystals, this sequence is gonna, this section is gonna open up for us. We're gonna go up here to hit the what should be our final save point of the game. Right, so we're just going to save there. And this is where we find out if we've messed up or not. Because this next room... Oh, we were okay. Because this card will only open up and allow us to collect it if we've saved every single save point on a single loop of the game, which is, you know, how true ending works. Oh, too late. Okay, so if we were just doing normal 100% from here, we would just teleport back to that save point. Oh, too far. Not right now, mister. Go and speak to Mummy. Mummy will tell you why you can't have chocolate this early in the morning. Before anyone comments on they're allowed chocolate this early in the morning, he's 3. He doesn't get to make that choice himself. Right. But anyway, so we're going to come here. We're going to skip literally as late on the timer as we can. Once we hit 20 minutes, this world is going to go into meltdown, and it's going to be an absolute mess. That's what we've been trying to prevent by doing all of this stuff. And yeah, so this is what we can see. Oh look, we're still alive. We survived the meltdown. But as you can see, the background is no longer snowy. The ground around us is no longer snowy. It's all changed because the place is in meltdown. We've got a lot more lava. We've got a lot more of nothingness going on. Okay, 2 minutes, mister. And here we go. So this is the final boss, but because we got all those cards, we don't have to fight him, and that is time. So yeah, apologies, I am very slightly overestimate because I'm a bit out of practice, but we're just gonna hold the button, skip through these credits so that we can ensure that we got our 100% there. What did I miss?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got true ending though. That's the main focus of this. I'm not... Oh... I'm very sorry to anyone who tuned in. I will most certainly make a donation as apologies for not hitting that. I tell you what, I died twice as well, so let's put in $5 for each percent and $5 for each death. I'm going to put a $20 donation in right now to apologize for that. That is abysmal on my part. But
dude, you're fine. I'm sure it's like super early or a super weird morning for you right now. Kids distracting you, and your hands went through craziness recently.
Dude, I think getting up at 6:30 this morning was bad enough on a Sunday. And, why did I do this?
Yeah, dude, go back to sleep. Go relax with your family. I will take over in hosting and doing the rest of the marathon. Yeah, I mean, you've done more than enough, and I'm just super happy that you were able to say, "Hey, I can do this," and I'm like, "Hey, are you sure?" Because I know you went through that, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I mean, like literally, I know I mentioned it, but like with it, literally 2 weeks ago, I couldn't hold anything in my hands, anything at all. So it's been a bit of an experience to get back into running after that. My hands are still a lot more sensitive than they were. I won't get into any detail, but basically, I had a viral infection which caused them to swell up, and they were not pretty to look at either. But no, I'm still happy with that run. It wasn't the greatest time, but it's definitely not a terrible time, and I think we got to see a good amount of the run. I am 100% about to go and watch back my recording to find out what I missed, because I feel really, really annoyed. And it's got to be a decryptor because we collected everything else. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to find out which one that was. That's gonna bug me otherwise. But either way, thank you so much, Jenna, for having me for this. Thank you for letting me help hosting. That's what, dude. If you don't mind taking over the next one, that would be great. Because my son is now bugging me for croissants, so I need to go and put some in the oven and get some of those cooked for him, so he'd leave me alone for a little bit. I think I could enjoy a croissant myself.
There you go. Enjoy your night or your day, whatever it is over there. We're going to transition over, so bear with us just a moment.